so lying down, just get comfortable, you know, as we do. If you want, you can bend your knees up or out or however you feel more comfortable. Right, sitting with your arms can be out straight at your sides. You can bend your elbows and have your hands on your belly, your chest, or whatever feels good. Even overhead. And just take a moment to settle in, to just let the day kind of fall away. And I do feel like the day has like weight. You can kind of feel it. So as you're lying here, just kind of let that go. Whatever it is, if you need to finish something, you can do that later, right? So let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. And just sigh it out the mouth, exhale. Right, letting go of the day, letting go of, you know, whatever, any nagging thoughts, whatever might be lingering. Let's do that again. Inhale. Filling up, take a big breath, holding it. And letting go, exhale. Just sigh it out through the mouth. One more time like that. Big breath, inhale. Filling all the way up, holding at the top. Try and soften. And this time, see if you can sip in a little more. Inhale. And hold on to that. And then let it go, exhale. Sigh all the breath out. And then start to breathe the Ujjayi breath, bringing the breath in and out through the nose. And we're just trying to have a nice, smooth, steady breath. And slowing the breath down a little bit. Right, let the breath just take its time. In through the nose. Out through the nose. So notice how your body is feeling tonight. Just kind of let the attention move through. Just notice how everything's feeling. Notice if the mind is a little busy from the day, you know, just kind of see how that's going. And we'll just see if we can't, the thoughts will come up, you know, when they do what they do. But we'll see if we can't just let those go. Really just stay present in the body with the breath, right? Moving with the practice. Right, take a break from the chatter of the mind, the chitti vritti, as we say. All right, so on that note, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe circling the wrists and the ankles. And taking a stretch, just an easy reach of the arms overhead, stretching out the legs. All right, and then we'll hug them in, bend the knees, drawing them in towards the chest. A little rocking side to side across the low back. See how that feels. All right, and then taking the legs over to the left, just dropping into the easy twist. Just a few breaths here. Soften the shoulder towards the floor. Turning the head opposite the knees, any amount to see what gives you a good stretch. All right, and then we'll come back up to center, bring the knees to the middle, take an inhale, and exhale them over to the other side. Turning the head, softening into the stretch. All right, let's come back up to center, bringing the legs up to the middle, and we'll just come right up. Rock and roll forward and back a couple times. Let's come up and do some cat-cow, and we'll head back into downward facing dog. So come on up and over. First, a few rounds of cat-cow. Just lubricating the spine. So as you breathe, move with the breath. Inhaling to lift the chest, lift the sit bones. Exhale to round the spine. Do that a couple more times. And again, it's a slow, steady breath. There's no rush. Don't need to do this super fast. Like we're kind of rushing around through the day a lot of times. So one more like that. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the sit bones. Exhaling, pressing the floor away to round the spine. Coming back forward towards the inhale, but this time finding more of a centered spine, a little lift in the belly. Walk the hands forward. Let's head right back into downward facing dog. Right, so it may feel good to pedal the heels a time or two. Go ahead and do that. Dropping one heel and bending the opposite knee. And then switching, of course, and you can do that a time or two, side to side. Shake out the head if the neck feels a little tight, or maybe open the mouth wide to release the jaw if the jaw feels like it's holding some tension. Now just settle in, take a couple of breaths. Start to steady the body, steady the gaze. How's the breath? Nice steady breath. All right, now let's shift forward into plank pose. When you're down dog, just forward to plank. We'll just take a few breaths here. I just feel it out on your shoulders, from the abs, pull the belly in. All right, try and press evenly through the hands. All right, back to down dog. Lift the hips up and back. All right, so that's good. First plank, not too bad. All right, so pressing back with the thighs, we're keeping the legs active. Come back forward to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists, arms nice and straight, pulling the belly button to the spine. Again, pressing evenly through the hands. Keep pressing the thigh bones up to the ceiling. Take one more breath. And back to downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Building a little heat. Start to feel that in the body. And again, coming back into our plank. Forward. Hover here. Nice and steady. Lean a little bit forward so the shoulders start to come just forward of the wrists. Still the arms are straight, the belly stays lifted, legs nice and active. One more inhale, lean out. And the exhale, bend the elbows and let's lower to the floor. All right, lying on the belly. Reach the hands back. Let's do a couple rounds of Shalabhasana. Curl the tailbone under, lift up, lift the head, the chest, lift the legs. Pressing up through the thighs, scooping the heart up, and lower down. Take a breath, soften. We'll lift again. Right, so trying to keep the legs relatively neutral. Press the thigh bones up, reach with the inner thighs, lift the chest, stretch back. All right, one more breath. Can you lift a little higher? Take an inhale. And come on down, exhale. Breath again. Let's interlace the fingers. Reach the knuckles towards the heels. Inhale, lift up. Right, so the chest is nice and wide. Right, try and soften the base of the neck. Bend the elbows, switch the interlace so the other thumb is on top. Reach back. Press the thigh bones up. Take one more inhale. And lower on down, exhale. Release the hands, soften. How's the breath? Smooth it out. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Planting your palms by your ribs. Tuck your toes. Take an inhale. Exhale. Pressing to plank or knees plank. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Is the exhale. Just enjoy that stretch. Maybe sigh the breath out. So again, nice and even through the hands. Press the floor away. Push. Get longer. One more inhale. Slowly gazing forward. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk forward, maybe hop. Bring your feet to your hands. Lift up halfway, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Come all the way up. Inhale, rise. Exhale the hands to the heart. Let's pause here for a moment. Dropping the gaze to the fingertips. Feel free to close your eyes, just setting an intention for practice. Perhaps you can reaffirm why you decided to take a yoga class, or if you have some other intention in mind, if something comes to you as you think about that. That's just something to kind of inspire you, give you a little motivation as you're moving through the practice. All right. Take an inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Release the hands down. Eyes can be open or closed. Turn the palms out. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Up and over, lengthening the spine as you fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Come up halfway. Hug the ribs in. Exhale, fold back down. Firming the glutes. Inhale, lift the chest. Come all the way back up. Reach up, exhale, pull the hands through center, and we'll keep moving. Hands down, palms out, inhale. Exhale, up and over, right? Long spine. Long spine as you lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, let's step the right foot back, right? And just take a breath, feel that stretch. Nice. Right, press through the hands, step the left foot back. We're back in our plank pose. Right belly engaged, shoulders out of the ears, right? No problem, just plank. Lean a little forward. Take one more inhale. And let's slowly exhale, coming all the way down. Land on the belly, flatten the feet. Scoop the heart forward and up, cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen and lower. Come all the way down. So we'll lift up 2 more times, hug the elbows in, scoop the heart forward and up. Maybe lift up a little higher this time. Press the pubic bone towards the floor. Lower as you exhale, coming all the way down. One more time like that. Pressing the hands, hug the elbows. Inhale, lift up. Oh, scoop the heart forward and up, stretch the belly. Back to down dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Good. 2 more breaths. Right, hug the arms in. As you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees. Walk forward, float forward. Feet to hands, halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Firm the glutes to rise, come all the way up. Exhale, hands through the midline, and then keep going. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the knees, hands down, left foot steps back. And just a breath in the stretch, let the hips melt down. All right, and then pressing through the hands, right foot back. We're in our plank pose. So this time maybe chaturanga to upward facing dog. Right, bend the elbows, heart goes forward, hover. Flatten the feet, straighten the arms, scoop the chest up, and exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so let's lift the right leg Up into the air. Turn the toes out, lift the hip and bend the knee. Just stretch the legs, right? The standing leg as you sink the heel. Feel the inner thigh as you lift the lifted knee a little higher. Take one more breath. Good. Straighten the leg, square the hips. Outer right hip down, right? Press the left thigh back. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to your nose, shift forward. Stay here, touch your right arm with your right knee, and then touch your left arm with your knee, and bring the leg all the way up and back. Inhale it up. Exhale, come forward, touch your right arm, and then touch your nose, and then touch your left arm. Reach the leg up and back. All right, one more time. Come forward, touch your left arm, and then touch your right arm. And one more time, touch your nose, lift the leg, three-legged dog, inhale, and exhale the foot to the earth. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, we'll lift the left leg. Turn the toes out, lift the hip and the knee. Enjoy the stretch. Sink the right heel. And straighten the leg. Square your hips. Right, keep the left leg nice and lifted. Take an inhale. Exhale forward, knee to your nose. Knee to the left arm. Lean in, knee to the right arm. Lift the leg up and back. Inhale. Forward again, touch your left arm. Touch your nose. Touch your right arm. Lift the leg up and back. Inhale, one more time. Come across, touch your right arm, touch your right arm. Touch your left arm. One more time, nose. Lift the leg. Inhale it up. Exhale the foot to the floor. Press back. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees. Walk forward. Float forward. Feet to hands. Lift up halfway. Inhale. Fold. Exhale. Come all the way up. Arms wide. Reach up. Inhaling. Exhaling. Hands to the heart. Just take a breath. Inhale. And sigh it out. Release the hands down. Relax your shoulders. All right, so let's do one regular A sun salute. Standing in Tadasana. Turn the palms out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold in. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees. Hands are down. Stepping back, maybe floating back this time. Right, Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's take 3 more breaths here. Whole hand pressing. Right, wrap the tricep down and in. Right, press the thighs back. Last inhale. Shifting the gaze, look where you want your feet to go and then walk or float. Feet to hands. Lift up halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Come all the way up. Firm glutes, reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, let's do a B sun salute. Inhale. Exhale, bending the knees, reach for the earth. And inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, hands are down, stepping back, jumping back, right? Take the vinyasa. Feel free to modify, lowering to the floor if you like. As you get to down dog, reach the right leg up into the air, inhale. Exhale, around the spine, step the foot forward, back heel to the floor, warrior one, just for the breath. Inhale up. Exhale, release it. Hands down, step back, lower down. Taking the vinyasa. Move with the breath. Good. All right, as you get to down dog, send the left leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, step your foot forward between your hands. That's it, back heel to the earth. Warrior one, come on up. Inhale, rise. Deep bend in the front knee. Exhale, long exhale. Hands down, step back, lower down. All one exhale. Inhale, the upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Smooth out the breath. Press the thighs back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, float your feet to your hands. Lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Lead with the heart, reach up. We were supposed to do chair pose, dang it, that's your heart. Okay, we have to do another V-sun salute then. Release the hands down. Inhale, exhale, bend. We were gonna do another one anyway. Inhale, lift the chest, reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands down. Heart stays forward, right? The head doesn't shift back, just the lower body travels back. Inhale. Exhale. All right, as you get to down dog, right leg up, inhale. Use your abs. Pull the knee forward, land lightly, don't make a sound. Back heel down, inhale, rise. Exhale. All the way down, long exhale to lower to chaturanga. Inhale is the back bend. And exhale. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Good, inhale the left leg up. Exhale again, try and land lightly. No sound, foot between the hands. Back heel down, come up. Inhale, rise. Good, exhaling. So same as we step back. Can you step back without making a sound? And lowering down to chaturanga. It's a lot more abs when you try not to brush your feet on the floor. Downward facing dog. And again, feel free to take an inhale and sigh it out. And then just right back into that smooth, steady breath in and out through the nose. All right, take one more inhale, get long. Use the exhale to bring your feet to your hands. Walking forward, jumping forward. Halfway lift inhale. Fold exhale. Utkatasana, bend your knees. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release the arms. And again, just taking a breath, inhale. Sigh it out. Let's separate the feet. Hip distance, have a little space between the feet. First two fingers around those big toes. Padangustasana, so folding in half. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Hook your big toes with your first two fingers. Right, push your fingers into the earth with your toes. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen forward. Exhale, into the fold. So legs, however straight they'll get. And you know, they can be bent. Right, but lift the shoulder blades away from the floor. And consider leaning a little bit into your toes. And squeeze your glutes as you do that. Let the head hang down. Your head can make your spine longer. Let it be heavy. Take another breath. Use the exhale to really relax the muscles along the spine. Let the head hang. Inhale, lift up halfway. Firm the glutes. Release the toes. Shake out your hands. All right. You can bring the feet a little closer together if you like. And then we'll take it back. Bend the knees, hands to the earth. Step back, jump back, taking the vinyasa. And again, feel free to modify it or skip it as you need to. Back to downward facing dog. All right, let's reach the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine, knee to your nose, step the foot through. Bring the back foot a little bit closer, about a third of the way closer. Hands to the hips, come on up. all the way up to stand. So Parsvottanasana, let's do the classic arm variation where the hands come behind the back. So thumbs down and tucking the hands in. We're trying to press the palms back there, hidden prayer, but maybe you know, like make fists and press knuckles, or you could even be here, or if you're sort of halfway, you can be kind of halfway. That's fine. Maybe the heels of the hands will come together at some point. Right, okay, so that in mind. This is a big stretch in the chest and the shoulders. Hug the ribs in a little bit and try and lengthen the outer right hip back so your hips are really square to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest, kind of leaning the heart back. Inhale, exhale, go forward. Forward into the fold. However much, right, any amount. Breathe into the stretch. Can you lengthen the outer right hip back? And at the same time, press the left thigh back. One more breath in this stretch. Lift the shoulders till they're hip high. And then release the arms out to the side, maybe overhead. Let's say out to the side for right now. Bend your front knee a little bit and let's come forward into warrior three. Lift the back heel, lift the back foot up off the floor. And now maybe the arms come overhead. Straightening the standing leg if you can. Take one more breath here. And then slowly bring the hands to the ground. Woo. Lift the left big toe up into the air. Inhale, send the heart forward. And exhale into the fold. So maybe your knee is bent, maybe your hands are on blocks. Maybe your right knee is bent. Hopefully your left leg can be straight. Yeah. And so bring your right hand to your right ankle and see if you can pull yourself into the stretch a little bit more. Let that head be heavy. Oh. All right. Slowly, we're gonna bend the right knee. Reach the left foot back and land in warrior one. So the back heel to the earth, bend the right knee a lot. Come up into Virya. Okay, so a few breaths here, not super long, but drawing the right thigh back into the hip socket. Can you start to pull up through the hip bones, right? Looking for the stretch at the front of the left hip. Right, bend a little deeper maybe if you're not feeling enough stretch. Yeah, send the tailbone down. Take another breath, hug the ribs in. Inhale, exhale, release it. Hands come down, step the front foot back. Move through the vinyasa. Feel free to take a moment in child's pose if you need a second. I'm gonna just get a quick sip. All right, downward facing dog. Okay, left leg. As you're ready. Yeah, there you go, sorry. I thought you were in down dog already. I didn't catch that was child's pose. Okay, send your left leg up into the air. Inhale it up. Exhale your foot between your hands. Step it forward. And again, landing lightly. Let's bring the back foot a little closer, about a third of the way closer. Land the back heel, hands to your hips. Let's come on up. All right, so same arms. We'll try and press the palms back there. They'll press any whatever amount they do. It's a pretty big stretch for your chest, your shoulders, your forearms, your wrists. Right, so pressing the palms however much. The chest is wide. Hug the ribs in. Get a little push back into the hands. And then slowly start to lift the heart, right? Lifting up. We want to kind of go back a little bit, right? Lifting the chest. Feel the stretch. Take an inhale. And slowly forward. As you go forward, pull the left hip back. The heart goes forward and the front hip goes back into the fold, right? You'll fold any amount. Lift the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor. Can you keep the kneecaps lifting? Right, that outer left hip firming back and in. Could you press into the back heel a little bit more? Take one more breath. Lift the shoulders to parallel to the hips, right? So the torso is parallel to the floor. Release the arms. Out wide. If you want a breath reaching them overhead, you could even keep them there, but maybe let's go out wide. Bend the left knee a little bit, lean forward, and let's come into warrior three. Right, lift the back heel. Arms can be out wide or come overhead. Right, back leg is lifted. Dropping the outer right hip down a little bit. Yes. Take one more breath. And then hands to the ground. Kind of fell over a little bit, but that's okay. Hands to the floor. Lift the right big toe. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen forward. And exhale, fold in any amount. So if you need to bend the left knee a little bit, you can. It is a big stretch. Right, try to bring the left hand to the left ankle. And see if the right big toe will lift up any higher. Breathe here. Keep trying to lengthen the lifted leg hip. Lengthen it away towards the back of your mat. Take one more breath. All right, to warrior one. So we're gonna bend that left knee. Reach the right foot way back. Land, drop the heel. Few breaths here, come on up. Right, left thigh pulls back. Lift up through the hip bones, right? And look for the stretch to the front of the right hip. Bending into the front knee. Reach through the right leg, inner thigh, towards the back of your mat. Right, hug the rib tips in. Maybe the arms can press back a tiny bit more. Take another breath, lift the heart, inhale. And release it, exhale. Hands come down, step it back. Taking a vinyasa or not. Right, see how your breath is. Feel free to take a breath or two in child's pose. Feel free also to sigh the breath. Okay, awesome. Stretch back. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk forward, float forward, bringing the feet to the hands. Lift up halfway, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Utkatasana, bend the knees. Lift up. Good. Squeeze the glutes, sitting back into the heels. Right, press the upper arms back. Hug the rib tips in. Good. Let's just bring the hands behind the head. Just fingertips behind the head, elbows wide. And see, as you keep the belly lifting, can you start to scoop the heart up a little bit? Take another breath here. Sit back, but lift the chest. Reach the arms back up and overhead. Inhale. And then fold, exhale. All the breath out. Okay, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Plant the hands, step back, jump back through the vinyasa. Or not, right? You can always go straight to down dog. All right. Setting the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Round the spine. Pull the knee forward, step. For warrior two, land the back heel. So we're heel to heel. And come on up. All right, so just breathe into the stretch. Arms nice and wide. Relax the shoulders out of your ears and try and get the back leg really nice and straight. Yeah. Smooth it out. One more breath. Maybe bend a little deeper. See. And then straighten the front leg. And let's come into Trikonasana. Right, so more stretching of the legs. Reach forward. Keep the abs engaged, even though it doesn't seem like it's about your abs. Keep the abs engaged, firm the glutes. Let the bottom hand land wherever it needs to land. To reach the top arm up so you're nice and flat. Right, breathe into the stretch. See if it's possible to lengthen the right side of your torso, lengthening forward through the right armpit. One more breath here. Good. Press into the back foot, lift up. Oh, come all the way up. Good, hands to your hips. And let's turn sideways. Why not? We'll get this practice in right now. So hands on your hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, let's come into the fold. Come all the way down, bring the hands to the earth. Crown of the head, reaching for the floor. Right, so just like in our Padangusthasana, we're lengthening the crown of the head to the earth and lifting the shoulder blades up away from the earth. Yeah. See if you can lean a little forward into your toes. Just try that out. Yes, nice. One more breath. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen forward. And then since we're here, let's just play with it a couple of times. Planting the hands. Maybe squiggle the feet a little bit closer together. You can bend the knees a little bit, even put some blocks. Well, I say blocks under your hands to make the floor closer, but it doesn't really help you get into the handstand. So I don't know if you want to put blocks under your hands. But in any case, plant the hands and lean in. Right, scoop the belly and right, just pretend like you're gonna pick your feet up off the ground. Too far. Good. Yes, right, it's all in the practice. Right, leaning in, lifting the heels, trying to get way up on the tippy toes. All right, take a break. Just let your head hang, relax your shoulders. All right. Good job. All right, so from here, we're going to spin it around so we're facing the top of the mat. And take a lunge. Bend the front knee. Walk the left foot back a little bit so you can kind of sink down. And let the hips start to melt down towards the ground. So you really start to feel the stretch at the front of the back leg hip. Try and press the back leg to the ceiling, even as you let the hips come down towards the ground. It's a pretty big stretch. All right, slowly let the back knee come to the earth. And let's see if we can, with the opposite hand, reach the right hand back and catch the left foot back there. Woo, stretchy. All right, pull the heel in, look for the stretch at the front of the thigh. It's probably not that hard to find. Lean forward any amount to deepen the stretch if you're interested in doing that. All right, and just try and breathe here because it is kind of a lot. All right, one more breath, pulling the heel in. Reaching with the opposite hand helps keep us stay a little more square forward. All right, release the back foot. When you're ready, let's go ahead and tuck the back toes, lift the knee, plant your hands, scoop the front foot back, find your plank and just take a vinyasa, right? Appreciate how your legs feel right now, how your hips feel right now, right? Hopefully there's some freedom there, some stretchiness. All right, so of course we're gonna do that on the other side. I'm just gonna face the other way so that my back doesn't end up to you the whole time. And let's lift the left leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Again, try to land lightly, using your abs to pull the foot through. Back heel down, windmill up, warrior two. Yeah. So that front knee, like a laser beam straight out through the top of your mat. Firming the left hip under. And as the left hip comes under, it'll deepen the stretch to the inner thigh, right? Which is a kind of nice effect, right? We want to keep the glutes engaged. And then let's engage the abs a little bit. Pull the ribs in, yes. And just a nice steady gaze over the middle finger of the front hand. Soften the shoulders down, right? Use the tricep, firm the arms. Good, nice. Maybe bend a little deeper. Yeah, just to explore. How's the breath? Okay, let's come into Trikonasana. Straighten the front leg. And then reach out. And you can keep an eye on your leg to make sure that you're not leaning to the inside of the leg. And then when you're all the way forward, whatever that means for you, the hand comes down and the right arm reaches for the sky. Right, and then just explore. Could you lengthen the left side? Kind of lengthening through the left armpit forward. You may feel the right side of your ribs kind of drop in a little bit, so that's good. Take another breath. Keep the kneecaps lifting, right? The legs nice and strong. Maybe you're looking up. All right. Bring the gaze down. Press into the right foot. Lift yourself up. All right, hands to the hips. Let's turn sideways again. This time we're going to turn the toes out. Get a little more into the stretchiness of the legs. So let's bend the right knee and bring the hands to the earth. Yes. Try and keep the feet down. So just come into this any amount. Yeah. All right, walk it over to the other side. Bend the left knee. Keep the knees wide, right? So the knees tracking over your foot. Stretchy. All right, come back to the first side, walk it over. Right, sitting the hips down, a little, almost like a little tuck of the tailbone, right? So we feel the lower abs engage. Lengthen straight out of your hips and pick your hands up off the floor, hands to your heart. Strongest legs, right? So you feel the work, but you also feel the stretch. Maybe the hands stay off the ground and we switch to the other side. If you need to, hands can come down, right? Press the knee wide. Breathe. Right, maybe the hips can sink a little lower, maybe. Just explore that. Yeah. Okay, one more time on each side. Shift back to the right knee. And then from here, consider opening the arms out to the sides or even bringing the arms overhead. Oh, yes. Okay, switch to the left knee. Bend. Yes, that's it. Feel the stretch. Take one more breath, maybe sink a little deeper. And then hands to the ground. And just come to the center for a moment. Give yourself a second. We're going to turn back to the top, so we're turning towards the left. And into the lunge, so a couple of breaths with the back knee lifted. Just allowing the hips to melt down and pressing the right thigh to the ceiling. Right? Hips sink down. Just breathe into the stretch at the front of the hip, the thigh. Maybe you can feel the stretch up into the belly. And then slowly bringing the right knee to the earth. We're going to bend it and see if we can reach back with the left hand and catch the foot back there. Pull the heel in, maybe. I don't know, see how it feels. See how it feels, don't force it, but you can play with the stretch. All right, bending into the front knee, any amount, however much. This side for me feels a little bit easier, so just notice how this side feels for you, like it is what it is. All right, one more breath. Gently releasing the back foot to the floor. tucking the toes, lift the knee, step back plank, take a vinyasa, rest in child's pose, right? Just appreciate how everything feels right now, the stretchiness of it all. And then back to down dog as you're ready. Good, and feel free to sigh the breath out or anything like that. No problem. All right, so let's keep going with this, our progression here. Stretch back, take an inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk forward, float forward, feet to hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, we fold. Bend the knees. Utkatasana. Gotta get one more chair pose in. Yes. And then press and rise. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Okay, so we're gonna just do one variation of Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. So I'm just gonna turn sideways so you can see me. All right, so let's stand on the right leg. So we'll pick the left knee, left foot, left leg up. Yeah. Okay, so first just trying to get our balance. Drop the left hip down, firm the right hip in, and then let's see if we can straighten the leg. Whoa, as I tip over. All right, and then walk your hands out. Out, it's like you're forward folding over the outstretched leg. Maybe you can grab your foot, maybe not, but just see what happens. Lengthen out, yes. And then we'll lift up. So lifting the left foot as high as it'll go, whatever that means for you right now. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Good, breathe, I know. Maybe come back for just a breath. Yeah, that's it. I know, it's not supposed to be easy. And then without just totally losing it, let's come on out. It's fine. It goes how it goes. It's one of those kind of poses that just, it's can be a little torture-ish. Okay. In Ashtanga, every time you have to run through the whole Utthita Hasta sequence of up and out and forward and up and oh my God. So this is just a little piece. Okay, so right knee. First, just balance. Right, just rooting through the standing foot. Trying to get the inseam of the foot to slowly root. And the challenge will be to kind of keep that nice and steady pressing down. Slowly try and straighten the leg. So you can just hold on to the back of your leg. And then walk your hands out. And maybe you get to your foot, maybe you don't, but just get as close as you can. Ugh. Lengthen forward. I feel like I'm gonna tip over. Right, and then slowly see if you can start to lift your chest, lift the leg a little higher, maybe. Right, can you spread the collarbones? They may not want to spread, but try. Yes. Take one last breath, lift the leg maybe a little higher. And then slowly, nice and easy, release it. Okay, shake out the legs. Give them a quick shake. All right, we're gonna vinyasa our way to downward facing dog. It's from the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, hands are down, stepping back, floating back through the vinyasa. Or go straight to down dog. You know. Yes. Okay, so this would be the time that we have our blocks handy, ultimately. Let's send the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Pulling the knee forward, step it through. Let's bring the back knee down. And we're going to make our way to Hanumanasana. So a block or two handy. Right, just as you bring the back knee down, just back it up a little bit. Back it up, And just sit into this lunge. Let the hips melt forward. Oftentimes this stretch at the back leg is the more limiting than the hamstring. So let that stretch happen. And then sit the hips back, straighten the front leg, and just lean into the hamstring stretch. Maybe push the front foot a little more forward, right? So now my back knee is farther back than my hip, right? And then we're just gonna kind of go forward and back, right? Take your time. At some point, you're gonna be like, okay, well, that's it for me. And if you're not on the floor, it'll be nice to put your block under the front leg hip, or really at the top of the thigh. I mean, underneath it, of course, but near the top. Right, and then you want to be able to, of course, feel the stretch, and also keep the hips square. The back leg wants to kind of open up. So I like to just keep my back toes tucked so that I can really work the back thigh to face the floor. And then, right, finally, once you're there in the stretch, you want to get a little bit of kind of pulling in with the feet, right? A pulling in and a little kind of trying to lift yourself up a little bit, because ultimately, once you're down here, feel some stability, right? The arms come up. Right, reach up, maybe look up, and you just kind of breathe here for a couple breaths. Whew, it's a big stretch at that back leg, right? And then you're like, I think I've had enough of this. You can bring the hands back down, good. Whew, okay, pressing through the hands, lift up, use your abs, scoop the front foot back, and slip off my mat. Oh, maybe you take a vinyasa. Maybe you rest in child's pose. But just notice your two sides, right? That's about as opposite as it can get. So just notice how your two legs feel, your two hips, the two different sides of your hips anyway, feel, right? Appreciate the difference. And we'll take a couple minutes and even that out and do the same thing on the other side. So left foot comes forward, landing lightly, of course. And as you come into the lunge, let's just go ahead and drop the back knee down. Feel free to add some padding if you felt like that was kind of a long time on the back knee. You can always fold your mat over or put a blanket or a towel under there. So just leaning in, back the back knee up a little bit so you can get a little more. This is a great stretch for running, but also for sitting. Like if you sit a lot, which so many of us do, especially these days, it's nice to open the front of the hip. Okay, so let's sit back and stretch the hamstring, get a little more into that. We've done a bit of stretching of these things already. Push the front foot forward a little bit, get that bigger distance between the front heel and the back knee. And then just kind of forward and back a bit. I like to tuck the back toes just to keep the back thigh facing the floor. Right, that really keeps us in the hip flexor stretch, the stretch at the front of the back leg hip, because that's a big stretch. And usually we're kind of leaning sideways to get away from it, so try not to. Add the block as you need to, right? You may not get to the floor. I'm going to guess that you're not going to get to the floor. So the block at any height, you could stack 2 blocks. So whatever, you can put it sideways. This way it seems a little wobbly, so you might want to just stack 2, one on top of the other if you need a little more height. Right, and then we don't just rest here, right? The legs are kind of active, pulling in a bit, pulling in towards each other, so we feel a little buoyant, a little bouncy as we pick the hands up. Right, draw the right hip forward, breathe. With the belly, you do not have to pick your hands up, of horse. And when you're thinking like, okay, I feel like I've stretched my legs enough, you can bring your hands back down, right? Whenever you're ready, press into the palms, scoop up. I feel like I'm gonna drag my mat, but maybe not. Yeah, a little bit. Scoop the foot back. It's like try not to pull your foot on the floor. And take a vinyasa, and then maybe a couple of breaths. Oof. In the child's pose. Right, hopefully feel a little more even, side to side. Right, yeah. Your hips, your legs. Okay. Where does the time go? Okay, so just for fun, one more sort of handstandy type thing, now that our legs are nice and stretched and flexible. So along those same lines of trying not to jump too much, we'll use our flexibility to just play with, again, like what's the least amount I could jump, and try and like get your bottom foot off the ground. So we kind of come into like a teeny tiny downward facing dog, right? Not too close. You really don't want to get too jammed up. So, I mean, even though I'm flexible enough, it's too close, right? So we want a good like foot or so-ish, I don't know, it's not exact, in front of your, whichever foot's going to be your standing foot to start. The other leg picks up. And then it's a similar idea where we're getting onto the ball of the standing foot, leaning into the hands, right? And reaching up with the lifted leg. Like what's the least amount that I could just barely, like maybe not even jump, but try and lift the bottom foot up off the ground. As if, yeah. I have to jump a little bit. Okay, and then of course we got to try it on the other leg. So you do a few there, shake it out, right, relax your shoulders, give yourself a minute. Not a minute, but you know, a second. All right, a little sweaty. We'll do one more. Other side, you just have to, you have to do it. Other leg down, other leg up. Right, and again, you don't want to be too close because it just doesn't give you any room to move in. Oh. Reach with that left leg. And then down. And when you feel like, okay, I think that's enough of that, shake it out. Consider, you can always come down onto your shins and just rest the backs of your hands, but maybe you slide them under so that your toes come to your wrist. Really all the way, your whole wrist. And then you just move into the forward fold, lifting up out of the wrist as you press your toes into the wrist crease. The whole hand under your foot. It's a great counter stretch to handstands, to arm balances. Lift up out of the wrist. Make some space, taking one more breath. All right. And slowly, slowly peel the hands out. Shake it out. All right. We're just gonna come on down. So let's bring our butts to the floor. Sort of unceremoniously butts to the floor. And lie on our backs. The time kind of disappeared. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but but we're gonna at least do a couple of rounds of bridge pose and then just really calm things down and head towards Shavasana. All right, so knees bent, feet flat. Have your heels kind of in towards your sit bones. And let's stretch the chest, lift the hips. We've stretched our hip flexors quite a bit, so just see how this feels. Lift up, interlace. All right, lengthen through the tailbone. Breathe into the stretch. Tilt the pelvis. So the contents of the hips as if, right, would just pour down into the ribs. And slowly, gently bring it down. Take a breath. If you want to try a round of Urdhvanayurasana, you're more than welcome to plant the hands and do all of that. Great. But if you want to keep it a slightly less effortful, we'll do another round of bridge. So either way, one more. Lift up. If you're doing bridge pose, just switch the interlace so the opposite thumb is on top. Tuck it in. Puff the chest. Right, lengthening through the tailbone in all of our back bends. Right, pressing evenly through the feet. One last breath. And just come on down, come on down. All right. Hug the knees in, give them a squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Oh, that's good. Okay. So we're going to take a twist. So let's keep the right knee and send the left leg out long. And we'll do the Padangusthasana twist, but it's Supta Padangusthasana when we're lying down. So just bring the knee, your right knee across over to the left. Right, reach the your right arm. And just enjoy the stretch. If you want, you can straighten the top leg, your right leg, and hold the shin, or even your ankle or your foot if you happen to be able to reach that far. Soften. Smooth out the breath in through the nose. Out through the nose. I say bend the right knee to come back through center. We'll hug both knees in. We'll just kind of straighten it out, hug the knees in, and then we'll keep the left knee and send the right leg out. The front of the hip, just open up, and then bring the leg across, left knee over to the right. Gaze turning to the left. And again, just softening into the twist. You have the same options to keep the left knee bent, straightening the leg, maybe holding on to the shin, maybe your foot if you happen to be able to reach that far. Take a few breaths here, just peeling open. This is a nominal amount of work here, so don't effort too much. All right. And easy peasy. Releasing, bending the knees to come back up through center. Okay, we did a lot of leg stretching. So just a quick heels up. Right, just to counter our back bends, more to round the spine. Right, easy lengthening of the backs of the legs. Maybe bringing the legs out to the sides. Get that stretch to the inner thighs. Happy baby if you like. And then it won't be the longest hip stretch ever, but let's just do a nice lying down hip stretch. So that may be thread the needle, crossing one ankle over the opposite knee, just stretching the hip that way. You could do the Gomukhasana legs where you get tighter at the knees and grab opposite either ankles or heels or feet or whatever you're comfortable grabbing onto. Or a reclined pigeon where you cradle your shin in your arms. Right, it looks like pigeon pose, but on your back, right? And the other leg goes up long. So if this seems like a nice idea, you can do that. They're all good. So whichever one feels better for your body right now, just do that. I try and relax as much as you can. I know there's a little bit of efforting as you hold on to your stretch, but soften your belly, relax your hips. Right, do the minimum amount of work in your shoulders and your arms. Right? Could they soften? Could they relax? One more breath on this side. And then gently release it and switch sides. So whatever you're doing on the first side, just switch it around to the other side. Thread the needle or whatever it is. And then, see how it feels as you get to the second side. Because maybe it doesn't feel quite the same and you need to modify or do something slightly different on this side. So just feel it out and, feel free to change what you're doing a little bit to make it work for the second side. Right, and then do the same thing as you get into the stretch. Just see if you can relax. Notice if there's tension lingering in the body. And see if you can send the breath right there, right wherever you're feeling the tightness, the grip, the tension. Inhale into that spot and let the exhale just release the grip. Allowing the body to soften. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale. And just softly sigh and exhale. And gently release the stretch. And just consider, take a moment to think about if there's anything else that your body wants you to do before you head into Shavasana. Any other easy, stretchy things, and maybe there's nothing. And you're like, I think I'm good. I think I did all the stretches. And that would be fine too, right? Whatever, see how your body feels. And then, right, so once you've addressed the things that need stretching or attention, you can make your way into Shavasana, right? So the idea is that we're comfortable enough to be still. We're also trying to kind of even out the body. And by that, I mean just, as you set up the legs, have your legs doing the same thing, equally distant from the midline. The arms, same, right? They're out to the sides, but try and have them have the same amount. Relax the shoulders. Again, softening any tension. Just trying to release it, let it go, so you can really rest and relax. And we'll just take a couple of minutes to soften and rest. The whole body relaxed, the whole body resting in Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And if you like, take a stretch. Gently reaching the arms overhead, stretching the legs. And hug your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Maybe rocking gently side to side. And rolling onto the right side. Maybe pausing here. Filling your head with your arm. You can just enjoy this nice, easy feeling of Shavasana. And up to seated. Pressing the floor away. Come on up. And just pausing briefly as you come to sit. Just notice how you feel. Appreciate the effects of practice. You showed up, you worked hard, right? So just notice how you feel. All right, bring the hands to press at the heart. Inhale, lifting the heart to the hands. Exhale, gently bowing in. In gratitude, as always, grateful for this practice. Grateful for the goodness that it brings, body, mind, and spirit. And then take a moment to just pick one thing that you're grateful for. Right? One thing that you feel grateful for, and just really let that feeling of gratitude fill your heart. Right? That's the good stuff. All right, thank you for practice. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste. Namaste. All right. Okay, fun. Stretchy. All right, good stuff.
That was really stretchy.
I told you.
Yeah.
Stretchy legs tonight.
Yeah, they felt good. I needed that.
Yeah, it's helpful. All right, so next Monday is Labor Day, and we're taking the night off. So, yeah, plus we got to be out of here like the middle of next week. So I kind of need the time to just like get all this stuff like done and out. Yeah, there's lots of recordings and stuff that you can.
Okay.
Meanwhile, but there will be classes in the morning if you want to hop on and take something earlier in the day.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.